It is now time for 757 House Whisperer, right here on News Talk 790 WNIS.
Mark Dunn bringing us in hot. This is Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperer Show. I am Chuck Worley, founder of Worley's Home Services and the House Whisperer. We are trying to tell y'all that houses talk to me. Call in, ask questions about your house and problems that you're having in the house. I've got a group of specialists, hosts that will help you figure out problems in your house. I want to help you figure out things going wrong in your house. I've been in business for 25 years. I've been doing, I'm not as long in the tooth as Mike Davenport, but I've been doing it a minute, right? It's a lot of fun for me, helping people, me and Mike and Cindy. Got the three of us here tonight, out of our crew of five, but these are our specialists I'm going to introduce in a minute. But just helping people one person at a time is, it's kind of exhausting, Mike. It's a long, long process. When we're doing this on the radio show, my idea was to get people to call in. I can answer their questions. And not only can I help that one person, I can actually help thousands of people with the same questions that they have about their houses. So let me introduce, I'm going to go around my three people tonight. We got me, of course, Chuck Worley. We've got Mike Davenport with CVP Custom Vinyl Products. There is not anything this man does not know about windows and doors and really construction in general. We've got Cindy Rowell. She owns Alpha Pest Solutions. Yes, that is Cindy. That is a female that goes underneath houses. So all you tough, burly guys that are scared to death to go underneath the house, she will try not to embarrass you when she jumps underneath that house with no fear at all. Because she's going in, man, we've been under houses together, and I'm like, oh, dang, how'd she get over there? So Cindy Rowell with Alpha Pest Solutions, she does a great job with finding pests, killing pests, getting rid of pests. So, and then, of course, we have Albin with Albin Co. He's home remodeling, new construction questions, anything you got. And then, of course, our buddy Justin with Pyramid Roofing, any roofing, slate, architecture, metal roofs, anything having to do with roofs. But our specialist tonight, we are going to invite you to try and stump my experts, which I know is impossible. You don't know is impossible. And I'm sorry. And, of course, we got Tommy Hines with the Perfect Home Remedy. He's our money guy. He will figure out how to get your money for any projects that you need. He is helping a homeowner in Norfolk, Virginia that we went to, 2 months ago. I think me and Tommy met out at the house. He needed some financial stuff done. He's got this going, that going. He needs electrical. He needs HVAC. I said, you know what, Tommy, just meet me at the house. And me and Ronnie Wolf, one of my plumbers, went under there. He's skinnier. And I'm gonna be honest with you, he couldn't get under that house. That house has got some work that needs to be done. But anyway, so we kind of come at this as a team. So if I don't know the answers, Cindy or Mike Davenport, they will be able to answer these questions tonight. So anything, call now in the front of the hour to ask questions about your house. Get your questions answered. Questions that you've had for years. Tonight's the night. We can answer these questions. So get your questions answered tonight. Call in 757-627-7979. That phone number again to the studio is 757-627-7979. Call in tonight. We've got some trivia. We got some cool stuff going on, but we really want to make this a fun show for you. That's why we come up with the cool trivia questions, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes. And really, we just want to discuss what I call my brainchild, the 757 House Whisperer. Why do we exist? It's a public service announcement every Wednesday night between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. helping people fix their houses. Our service areas are from New Kent. We're not going to Richmond. New Kent service area, New Kent to Wano, which is 757, but really sneaking into 804, all the way to the Virginia line. I know Mike will go into Carolina. He's got a license down there, and then up to Richmond. Okay, so you'll go past Richmond. So our big area is really our neighbors, the 757. I invented this show to help my hood, my Hampton Roads, the 757/804 people, to educate them on what their houses are telling all of us. We go into houses every day telling people, did you not know this was happening? Did you not know your house was rotting out? Did you not know there's mold in your house? Did you not know that you got water dripping down inside your wall, from the roof? So these are the types of things that we run in that literally, and I'm not kidding, literally the coolest part about our listeners when they call in and ask questions, and is that you're helping thousands of our other listeners, like your neighbors, and learning more about their own house just by listening to you guys call in and ask questions. I just think it's a really cool concept. I've been doing this off and on since the early 2000s, all the way back to some of you guys will remember Ask the Expert through the Train company. It's just really cool. Now, I did want to mention to you, of course, you can go to Facebook. We're on Facebook Live. It might be easier to listen through there. You can go to YouTube and literally pull up 757 House Whisperer, Chuck Worley, any of those things, and it will pop up all of our shows this whole year. So if you wanted to go back and listen to some cool shows, or what did he say on, in January, he had a show and Mike was answering this really philosophical, I can't even say that word, question. Thank you. See, I hire smart people, right? So anyway, that's my secret to success. Hire smart people. So but Mike's answering this question with all these long words that I don't know how to spell because he graduated from Virginia Tech. So, and Wilson, right? Wasn't it Wilson? Yeah, Wilson High School. So all you old school people, you know what? We're both from high schools that don't exist really anymore. Norfolk Catholic. I went to Norfolk Catholic, which is the Catholic high school in Virginia Beach. They couldn't call it Norfolk Catholic. Do you know why? They moved it to Virginia Beach. So anyway, definitely call now. Call in the front of the hour. What are the problems with your house? Don't wait to the end of the show. 627-7979. Definitely want you guys calling in. We normally give out a gift certificate to a local coffee shop. I've been using Starbucks, but I'm going to ask some of you guys to call in. Somebody that has a relationship with like Black Rifle Coffee, or somebody who has a coffee shop that lines more up with us than, the Starbucks of the world. Yeah. I like to kind of bring this. We're a local show, local contractors, talking to local homeowners. I want to get like a local coffee shop that we can support and they can support us on trying to develop a relationship. I need one that's like on the south side and the peninsula, because we have home. Cindy, if I don't know them, you do. I tell you. All right.
We probably both know them, just don't know each other.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, you were talking to a buddy of mine. You were talking to a buddy of mine from the apprentice school, Mr. Geiger. So you know that guy? I'm like, well, yeah, like 30 years ago when I was in the apprentice school. That's awesome. So I'm going to go through trivia questions. I got three trivia questions. The first one. All right, everybody ready? Ding, ding, ding. Who was the first man in space not on the moon?
Yeah. Why don't you ask one, and then we'll do the next one when we get an answer to the first one. Because they always want to jump ship.
They do, but they might not know the answer, though. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. I think people will guess this one.
I knew that answer. You remember?
You did get that one, but you didn't get this one. How is the oldest? Who is the oldest Saturday Night Live host ever? Who is the oldest Saturday Night Live host? It is obvious. And then music question, because I love music, and what year did Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" come out? 627-7979. Call to answer those calls. We got open lines. And as soon as you wait to the last minute, we're going to have 13 people call. So call in now while we got open lines. Answer any one of those questions. We'll have a gift certificate from a coffee shop. We're hoping a local coffee shop this year, so we don't have to keep supporting the big S. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we love our veterans. I was raised by a Navy chief, and I got scars to prove it. So 757-627-7979. Call in, answer one of our trivia questions, or call in and ask questions about your house. I do have a trivia question that we didn't answer last week, and that was, what was the hottest day last week? You remember that one, Damien? Damon?
Yeah. What was it?
Did you guess what it was?
Not correctly.
Not correctly. The day of the show, last Wednesday, the hottest of that week was 77 degrees. So what is the hottest day of this week? I will tell you, it was today. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot. All I know is anytime you walk past a heat and air guy like me, that it's a 90-degree day, he got a smile ear to ear because nobody's sweeping the shop today, baby. Nobody's sweeping the shop today. When it's 22 outside or 62 outside, ain't nobody got nothing working. Everything's off. Everything's off. So looks like we got a call. Let's go to Bill in Virginia Beach.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're going well. How's it going, Mr. Bill?
Pretty good. I just was on my way home from work and listening to your show, and I think I know who the oldest Saturday Night Live host was.
All right.
Take your shot. I'm gonna go with George Burns.
It is not. It is not. But that's a good one. I
thought for sure.
I mean, yeah, he was old as don't you slip. Don't you slip. Don't you slip. Nah, George Burns, what was that? What was his famous was it God? What was it? What was the movie? Oh God. What was his movie? George Burns. No, but the one I remember him was God talked to him, or he was God, wasn't he? He was God, yeah. That was a great movie. Do you remember what the name of that was, Bill?
I think it was called Oh God.
I thought it was Oh God. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That was So do you have a house in the 757?
I do.
You do. Any issues with the house? Plumbing, roofing, windows, siding? Any issues with the house?
No, not right now. Everything is in pretty good shape.
By the grace of God, right? It's not a question of
That's right.
if you will need us. It is a question when. Yeah. What year was your house built?
1973.
Woo. Have
you ever had your windows replaced?
Well, the windows were replaced right before I bought it, and I bought it 11 years ago.
Okay, well you should have low-E windows in it. They came out big time around 2011, 12, and that gives you the best protection against a loss of energy through your heating and cooling. So if you got good energy windows, you got good AC with a high shear and high efficiency gas, and covering up all the cracks, you got a good place. You got to pay to be comfortable, but there's no need in paying too much to be comfortable, right, Bill?
Exactly.
That's good. So you got a pest control, a female pest control person?
No, we do have a pest control company. I can't think of their name right off the top of my head, but they have done a pretty good job.
Cindy with Alpha Pest Solution. If you ever need anybody or a second opinion, some of those guys, it's pest control and crawl space companies are. It's very select few that go under there, take pictures, come out and say, hey, this is the problem that we're having. And it's really important to have a company that you trust that comes out and just says, oh yeah, this is going on, that's going on. Because most people are not going to go in the crawl space.
And I don't
Right.
even,
I don't want to do that.
I don't just address your pest issues. If I see that you've got something going on with your ductwork, or you've got a leak or a plumbing issue, moisture, any of that, I come out with pictures to show all of that. So if we get ahead of that stuff early, it saves you money. So we handle all that, and happy to do it. And all my inspections are free, Bill.
Well, you heard it. Well, thanks, Bill, for calling in. You're going to get a gift certificate, hopefully from a local company. And we really want to support the locals, right? So, but thanks for calling in, Bill. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Get to Miss Joan in Portsmouth.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Joan in Portsmouth.
Hi. I'm living in a hoarding situation, and truthfully, I need help. I don't even know where to start to find somebody to help clean out the house. But I'm disabled now, so I can't clean it out myself. I've been trying for the last year. I can't do it. So, and I'll be honest with you, I'll need pest control afterwards. But
yeah, we will. Cindy will call you after the show, and she will get you somebody. We have somebody that can definitely help you with that. I will tell you that's a very serious situation. It's and it can be dangerous. I mean, from animals it's that can be really. Have you run into that before?
A lot. And I have a very good friend that handles that sort of thing, Joan. He's also a veteran, great guy, reasonable prices. You will absolutely love him. And then when you get through that whole thing, if he sees something along the way that he knows I can handle, then he lets me know. We've worked together 1,000,000 times. So great guy.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for calling in and asking that. Did you have a shot at one of the trivia questions?
Be honest with you, I did not hear the question. So,
so I'll give you the one. Who is the oldest Saturday Night Live host?
I don't know that one.
That's all right.
You'll know her.
Yeah, you'll know her. Stay tuned. You will definitely know her. And who was the first man in space not on the moon?
Not on the moon. Isn't that? Wait a minute. Okay, first, not on the moon. Okay, that's the guy that went up in the Mercury capsule. Technically, he did make it in space. Shepard.
You got it. Yeah.
Unless you're talking about
what's his first name?
Neil. Wait a minute. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. I know it was Alan Shepard.
Yep, that's him. All right, we finally got one of the answers. That's good. All right, well, we will be sending you a gift card for a local coffee shop, and we will Cindy will give you a call after the show to kind of touch base with you. But the hoarding situation, while we're on that subject, it can be serious. I don't want to put myself out there, but my parents had a lot of stuff in their house. You know, it takes forever to empty a house. Now, they weren't hoarders. Now, my dad is, kind of on the fringe but he's not a hoarder, right? Because that's a serious situation. But I'm telling you, emptying a house is not for the weak. My mom passed away. She got moved into a facility. We lived on Nathan Avenue in Norfolk, Virginia for 44 years. My parents lived in that house. And I remember her best friend put a sign in the yard when my mom turned 50, said, "Ain't it nifty? Lenny's 50. My mom was Lynn. And so I'm like, man, we've been there a long time because now I'm in my 50s. But anyway, she passed away a couple years ago, and they moved stuff out of the house. And I mean, 3 months later, it was kind of funny because my sister said, all right, Chucky's room's over here. Emily's room's over here. So this is what we're going to do. All the stuff you want to keep, Mom, we're going to put in this room. all the stuff you're going to give away, put in Chucky's room, right? So she comes back like a month later. She was out of town. She comes back. She worked out of town. She comes back and she goes, so this is the room that we're going to get rid of. We're going to get rid of all this stuff. She has one box in one room. One box, not a big box, just a small, like 10 by 12 box in the middle of a room, half full. And the other box, the other room is just slam full of stuff, right? So that's the stuff she's going to keep. Now get this. We're moving from 2,200 square foot to 675 square foot. And I'm like, Mom, you're not going to fit in this space. Like because she was really sick and we had to move her into a facility with my dad. And so I'm like, you can have Dad or all your stuff. And I'm not sure I should ask that, but anyway, my sister literally had to move in for 6 months. For 6 months, she moved into the house and worked from home. And literally took her 6 months, a dumpster outside, and went through box by box, piece by piece. It is an emotional nightmare, people going through that. And again, they weren't hoarders, but it's a lot. So I respect you for being in that situation and trying to get through it. Okay, let's go. We're going to break.
Hang on, Jeff.
And we'll be right back with more 757 House Whisperer here on News Talk 790 WNIS. Call for more information and to schedule a consultation, 955-9415, 955-9415, or online at 757housewhisperer.com, 757housewhisperer.com. And stay tuned for more throughout the rest of this hour with 757 House Whisperer here on News Talk 790 WNIS.
I want to know how many people are in their car air guitaring with Mark Dunn. That's all I want to know. How many people are air guitaring every time he brings it in? I got to get him to expand that to like 30 seconds. And he's and most of you guys know we grew up together. We went to St. Pius together. Mark Dunn, the guy doing the magical guitar. I played guitar, but I don't play guitar like Mark played guitar. He did, man. And the coolest part of that riff is he did it at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning and sent it to me. I'm like, what the heck is he sending me at 2-3 o'clock in the morning? So it just came to him. So, hey, this is Chuck Worley with the Worley 757 House Whisperer Show. We have Mike Davenport with CVP Custom Vinyl Products and Windows and Doors. Anything you need for your house. Great in construction. Has been in construction for longer than me and Cindy been alive. And all right, longer than me. You were longer too. Yeah, longer too. So, and Cindy Rowell with Alpha Pest Solutions. Want to introduce us again, our other hosts that are not here tonight, but Justin with Pyramid Roofing, Tommy Hines with the Perfect Home Remedy, our money guy, and Albin Homes, our Albin Co. Home remodeling and new construction. So I will give Albin a commercial that he is helping my fiance figure out what my new kitchen is supposed to look like. Yeah, I'm just like she's like, hey, what about this? What about this? I'm like, okay, just do what you do, right? Absolutely. What's that? Hey, Jeff, let's pick up Jeff. I forgot he was on there. All right, Jeff, what do you got, buddy?
I got the age-old question of the vents underneath the house. Do you open them up in the summer and close them in the winter, or do you leave them closed all the time?
So there is all kinds of answers for that. Exactly. Go ahead.
I'll tell you.
This is for a regular open crawl space question. This is not bringing in encapsulations, right? This is just
so is it encapsulated? Is it encapsulated, or do you have a dehumidifier?
No dehumidifier. It's just a plain, ordinary under the house crawl space, and I don't have a moisture problem.
Okay. So if you put 10 people in front of you, you'd get 10 different answers. That's how that works, just so you know. So with that situation, what I recommend, there are a type of vents out there, Jeff, that you can put in that are called temp vents. Those open and close on their own depending upon the temperature. So that you're never sitting there and wondering, well, the temperature is 75 degrees. What should I do? So I recommend putting those in. You can get them online for, I don't know, $25, $30 each and install them yourselves. But, there are times where I'm like, the vents should be closed. There are times when they should be open. Every crawl space is different with a different set of circumstances going on under there. So it's not one thing for everybody. It's different for everybody. So I don't know if that really helps you with answer that question, but I would recommend the temp vents.
That's a great answer, and the temp vents definitely will do the job for you, kind of opening and closing. But the real thing is, so in the early 1960s, 70s, when most of these houses are starting to be built in, this is the 757. I'm not talking about Canada. I'm not talking about, Florida. I'm talking about the 757 house, right? So the houses were built. Most of the houses, you were around. How big were those houses? 1,200, 900?
12 to 1,600 square feet. Yeah, some people that were getting up around 2,000, but those were normal.
So and these houses,
spaces, the key to it is a lot of builders back then weren't worried about getting the house up out of the ground. They weren't worried about positive drainage away from the foundation, and they weren't worried about that crawl space once they left it. Code was a lot less restricted then than it is now. Which helps you as a person, as the owner. Your situation in 73, there was a lot of guys that didn't give you much of a crawl space. And, you did end up with and will have that moisture issue, but it's one that you got to stay on top of, because if you're not, then the next thing you got, moisture turns into rot, turns into a real expensive problem. So you need to get an expert.
Right.
Cindy, she'll go take a look at it, give you a free inspection, and she'll give you the straight scoop.
Right. And it's important, Jeff, to have someone who is an expert looking at your house. You just don't want anybody coming under there and saying, oh, yeah, everything looks great. Because I can tell you, there's not a pickier inspector out there than I am. And I'll tell you everything that you need to know and give you options on how to take care of some of those things on your own, by yourself. And then the things that you can't do, then we're happy to help with.
Yeah, I have an annual inspection every year underneath the house to look for moisture problems, for pipe problems, and things like that. And it's always dry. They never found a problem. The house, I actually built it myself, and the drainage, the house is taller than the ground around it, so that I don't get moisture running in underneath the house. It always runs away.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah, we call you one of the lucky ones.
Right.
That's what we call you.
What kind of work did you do when you were building that house, man? Were you in construction yourself?
I was a general contractor, and I actually did the framing myself, roughed in the plumbing, and roughed in the electrical, and then I had the guys with the certificate come in and finish up the electrical and finish up the plumbing work. But like I said, the house is dry underneath. It's well ventilated, but I usually keep the vents closed year round.
So Jeff, when the company that you have comes out to do your annual inspection, do they give you moisture readings, so moisture content in the wood? Because it could be dry under there, but it's the moisture content in the wood that's important. If they haven't been doing that, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get yourself a moisture meter and check those numbers yourself. But, you could go in there and you could have sand under there. It could be dry as a bone, but your wood could be totally saturated.
Insulation gets wet.
Right.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a shot at the trivia?
I had the Alan B. Shepard name, but someone else beat me to it.
That is true. That is true. Hey, what about Saturday Night Live? The oldest host ever.
Milton Berle?
Man, everybody's going old school, man. Yeah, it's yes, it is not. But that was a good shot. I mean, that was a good guess. And I thought, oh God, was a good guess. We're definitely in the 90s.
So Chuck, can I give a hint for the SNL one? Because today is her birthday. I don't know if you knew that, but today is the oldest host of SNL's birthday.
Aretha
Franklin? And you said her.
No. She's no, and still alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was said earlier. That was said earlier too.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yeah. So happy birthday, oldest host of SNL. There you go. Call today and get a prize.
That is correct. That is correct. So yeah, we definitely want you guys to call in 757-627-7979. Call in and ask your questions about your house. Remember, you can we're on Facebook Live now. You can go to YouTube to look up our old shows. Definitely want you guys to call in and ask questions about your house. And I also have the trivia question is, how hot was it today? Sorry, the AC guy always goes back to how hot is it today? So on that note, we don't have any callers come in yet. So we got open lines, 627-7979. I have a text question that somebody had texted into us. What is the lowest temperature that you should set your AC at? What is the lowest temperature you can set your AC at? For the next one, that is a trivia question, or excuse me, a text question that one of our customers called in and asked. This is the answer. Anybody listen to what I am saying? I am an AC guy. Been doing since 1989. I have never, since 1989, seen a thermostat set below 70 degrees that did not have a mold mildew situation in the house. So if you're the guy, 68, 67, 66, God love you. You are going to need my services. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. It's your house. You do what you do. But the houses that I've ever run into molds and mildews inside the house, it's always been, I walk in, the first thing I see, 69, 68, 67. So if you don't have any of those issues, keep doing you. But I'm telling you, you will run into issues because the problem is the AC is so cold now. These new Freons, everything's coming up. The moisture levels are so much lower. It is not a good idea. Now, it's your house. I want you to be comfortable. I don't want you to sweat. But there could be some other issues. Maybe a dehumidifier could help. Maybe the crawl space, by encapsulating it, you can get your moisture levels down. The moisture is what we're trying to fix, not the temperature. I don't care what the temperature is in my house if my fat butt is not sweating, right? All I care. What makes you sweat? Humidity. Right. If it's not humid in the house, you're not going to sweat. Well, why do people crank the AC down? Well, because they're sweating, right? So that's one question. And looks like we got another one with Barry. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Barry, we got a drainage issue in Norfolk. Hey, Barry, you got a drainage issue in Norfolk?
Yeah, I actually I don't know if I could say this on the air, but I got a thing called a lower air, and I put up underneath my house. I've got a company called A1 Exterminators that comes over there, and I had a termite problem, but they put down a termidor, so that works. I put a vapor barrier underneath the house. My question more is every once in a while I get somebody that says that I shouldn't leave. Like I put this stuff called Rubatex for my vents to keep the air from coming in and going out because it's so humid around here. I would think, and I'm actually a plumber, so where they call us termites sometimes too. But what I'm trying to say is from what I'm to understand is it's better to keep the the vents closed, because that way you're not getting it at night, because the way the humidity is so bad around here. I'm under the understanding that it's better to keep up to keep the vents closed, because you're not getting it at night the air circulating through. And a lot of times people will build porches, and they put these floating porches in, and they the way my house faces, it faces toward the northeast. So anytime you get a northeasterly rain, it would come up on the porch and wash up underneath the house. I took care of those problems. But my main question is what should be the proper reading up underneath the house as far as for humidity, and what's also the other part as far as for whether you should keep the vents closed or open all year long.
Well, the problem with closing them when it's hot and humid outside is you're going to trap that hot, humid air underneath the crawl space. I started to talk about with Mike. I was joking about he was long enough to be here in the 40s, but the houses that were built back then is they're so small. They were 900, 1,200, 1,500 square foot or less. And the cross section, cross air going across was enough to kind of keep it to where the dew point never hit. Now we have houses that are literally 100 feet long, and it doesn't matter. You could have fans under there, and there's not enough cross breeze, right? So That's why I was talking earlier to the other person, was that you don't want to trap the moisture underneath the house. That's why when Cindy was talking, if you want to encapsulate, shut all the vents, seal everything up, insulate.
It's a dehumidifier you have in there?
Pardon me?
So you had did you say you have an April air in the crawl space that A1 actually put in?
Yeah, I forgot what the number is, but I put that on.
You got to keep those vents closed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you don't keep the vents closed, it's kind of like turning your air conditioner on and leaving the windows open.
Yeah. I was thinking so. That's the reason why I did what I did. But yeah, I was just wondering. I hope you don't mind me telling you, I'll listen to y'all's 790 AM all day long. I drive and I listen to the radio all day long. I love the conservative talk radio. Unfortunately, we have a lot of knuckleheads that can't get it together. So, but anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another important question I have for you. I have these 3 rules: character, integrity, and always do the right thing. And if you have those 3 things and you're a plumber, you can have the benefit of working for Worley's.
Well, actually, I went to plumbing school for 4 years. I worked for the Nexcom Navy Exchanges. I got put on air flights to go all over the place. I was going to open my own business, but I'm taking my Social Security now. So I'm 62, and they tell me, I'm 63 now, but I got to wait till I'm 67 till I can start getting as much money as I want to around.
Well, I will tell you this, man. I appreciate your service in the plumbing industry. It has been an industry that hasn't been respected its whole entire industry. I respect plumbers. They are some of the hardest working guys that I got on my team, and that job is not fun. I mean, you have to know the 2 rules of plumbing. 1 is grade, water goes downhill, and 2 is don't lick your fingers when you're working.
No. The part as far as for that is a good plumber chooses fingernails. And hot's on the left, cold's on the right, poop don't go uphill, and payday's on Friday. Make sure the money's right.
Well, I can tell you're a plumber.
Well,
hey, thanks for listening to the show.
Right. Yeah,
I'm sorry
to
the show, and I will say one other thing about cities are now pulling. You have to pull a permit to put a dehumidifier underneath the house now. So if you did not get a city inspection on that crawl space, something was not done up to city code, and that should be a red flag. You're supposed to insulate the sidewalls, take out the insulation in the ceiling. Their city codes are cracking down. People can get in trouble now if you're not pulling permits to do encapsulations, which involves putting a dehumidifier underneath the house, taking it from an open crawl space to a closed crawl space. So we encapsulate crawl space. I pull, 5, 10, 15 permits a day, and it's a pain in the butt, and that's why people don't do it. But it is the right thing to do because it will be done up to city code. If you have a builder come in and say, hey, I'm going to pop this addition off the back of your house, but shh, don't worry. I have been doing this for 30 years. We don't really need to involve the city. This is when we run. This is when we run, right? So you want it done right. So if you want an inspection, I mean, Cindy can do a free inspection for you. We can do a free inspection for you, but I would probably get somebody to take a look at that, because if all they did was pop the vents in and put a dehumidifier underneath the house, that dehu is running twice as long as it has to. And it, you know, I'm not saying it's going to double your electric bill, but it's not right. It's not the right thing to do. And being raised by that Navy chief like me, doing the right thing is doing the right thing. Yeah, of course. I mean, I had a customer, his dad bought a dehumidifier, stuck it underneath the house. His dad passed away. I go meet him under there. He's like, yeah, there's a dehu under there. I'm walking through. There's like vents off, like where animals been going in and out. I'm like, you got a dehu underneath the house? I walk around the backside of the house. No, I can't hear it. He said, man, I can't hear it running. I said, when did you put it in? He said, 3 years ago. The door, no filter change, and the unit had literally been running for 3 solid years. Well, guess what? It's dead. Yeah, it had popped the breaker. It was dead. Yeah. So anyway, I think we got one more caller. Thanks a lot for calling in, Barry. And is there another Barry? We got 2 Barrys tonight. Yeah. All right, come on, Barry.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I thought it was Mary. Wasn't it Barry? All right, wasn't Mary tonight? We got Barry tonight. So what's up, Mr. Barry? So you got the answer to the oldest SNL host.
You're the oldest SNL host. Say Tina Fey.
It is not Tina Fey.
Oh, well.
Man, somebody else said that too. So no, the oldest. We got 1 minute. Yeah, we got about 1 minute left. So I'm going to answer. Thank you for calling in. We got 1 minute left, right? Oh, somebody answered. Let's see. In Norfolk was a correct answer. So call back. I guess somebody had hung up. We did have the oldest. Someone answered the oldest person, and it's a woman, and she just passed away right before her 100th birthday. Yeah. Tell me who. Betty White. That was a good trivia question. I thought that was going to get going.
Yeah.
It was 2010. So she hosted. So she was 90, I guess 95, I think. 98. So 98. 99. No, she died. Well, hey, thanks again for calling in, the 757 House Whisperer. We thank you guys for calling in and asking those questions and answering our fun trivia questions. We have just as much fun as you guys hopefully do listening. Thank you again for calling in. We had a blast. See you.
Sponsored and paid for by Worley Home Services, who's entirely responsible for its